Hello and welcome to Shanmugam IAS Academy. This is Ashwin. I welcome you all for current events of the day. Let us take up the topics for today's discussion. Why India should adopt net zero emission target. Decline role of the declining role of Parliament in ensuring accountability of executive. Lack of transparency in the Supreme Court's in-house inquiry. Recurring fire accidents in India. These are the four important topics that we are going to discuss today. Why India should adopt net zero emission target? First of all, we should know what is net zero emission target. It is a state in which greenhouse gases emitted by a country is balanced by absorption of greenhouse gases using advanced technologies or planting trees. So we are going to reduce the greenhouse gases by planting trees and using advanced technologies like moving towards e-vehicles, such kind of things which will reduce the pollution. So this is what net zero emission. So India should adopt a net zero emission target like others. Every country is doing this. It will lead to simultaneous attainment of net zero emission and economic growth. That's true. Countries have made a commitment to attain net zero emission by 2050. They currently emit more than 50% greenhouse gases. So which all are the countries emitting more than 50% greenhouse gases has came into a commitment to reduce its emission by 2050. So being a responsible nation, India also need to adopt the net zero emission target. This is the thing. And the next one is why India need to adopt a net zero emission? Because International Energy Agency findings says that majority of India's future emissions are supposed to come from things that they yet to be made. So India is moving towards a developing nation. So it is doing more amount of, it is consuming more amount of fuel for its generation of growth. So that is why India is having consent to reduce its energy emission. Therefore, adopting net zero emission will give the country an opportunity to build a cleaner economy. However, India did not adopt a net zero emission the target due to its goals related to economic growth. So India is a growing country. So India will not be facing this reduction process. So if it is facing this reduction process, it will be seeing some kind of reduction in its growth. So it is a mistreat. How net zero emissions can fuel economic growth? Adaptation of clean resources of energy will reduce the water demand. That's true, because through the thermal power plants we are generating power. So when we are moving towards or neglecting coal, we will not be having this water demand. It is expected to reduce 2.5 billion cubic meters per year. So per year we are going to save 2.5 billion cubic meters of water, and it is going to be less than 1 billion cubic meter in 2050 as the target fixed by other countries. Reduction in carbon emission will result in reducing pollution, thereby improving health of the masses. It will generate 24 million jobs in 15 years across multiple sectors. For instance, we can say e-vehicles, clean energy, hydrogen electrolysis. So electrolysis in the sense the process of using electricity to split water into hydrogen and oxygen. So we are going to lyse the water. So here we are going to lyse the water. Water is containing H2O, we all know that. So H2O will be lysed so that H and O will be divided. So we'll be getting hydrogen and oxygen. That is a simple thing, that is electrolysis. Hydrogen gas released in this way can be used as a hydrogen fuel. That is why we are going for electrolysis. Switching to clean fuels will also reduce the country's crude oil import. So we are depending more on crude oil from other countries. So if you move towards e-vehicles and other kind of emission reducing technologies, we will be saving the crude oil import bill. So what are the challenges in adopting net zero emission targets? At present, nearly 25% of government revenues comes from energy sector. So phasing out of fossil fuels will reduce the government's tax revenue. Yes, tax will be reduced. So government used to increase the petrol, diesel prices so that they are getting income generation in a very soon manner. I mean revenue. A job reduction might arise in the vehicle maintenance and repair sector because it will be needed some kind of technologies and skilled labor to work on the defects of the upcoming e-workers. There are certain issues with the new jobs created, because this is the same thing which is happening in the technology and skill. People will not be having the good expertise likewise they have in the coal sector. So nowadays we are moving towards emission reduction, so we'll be reducing the coal usage. So the people who are having expertise in coal will not having good knowledge in the emission reduction technologies. So this is the thing. Declining role of parliament in ensuring accountability of executive. Recent days we are seeing that executive is not represented by the parliament. Parliament sessions are ending prematurely due to various reasons. Likewise, we can say during the COVID-19 period, the summer session, budget session have been concluded very sooner, likewise in the previous days. The result was the fiscal year 2021 witnessed the lowest ever parliamentary sessions. So this was the lowest ever parliamentary sessions of Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha. For Lok Sabha it was just 34 days and 33 days for Rajya Sabha. Unproductive parliament sessions resulted in lack of public scrutiny over government functioning, financial expenditure and government bills. What are the issues associated with the functioning of the parliament? First, the declining parliament's responsibility to scrutinize important bills. So parliament has missed to scrutinize the important bills passed by the parliament. For example, during the last session, 13 bills were introduced and none of them were referred to the parliamentary committee. So see, in polity, you might have studied that if a bill is being introduced in the parliament, either in a Lok Sabha or in a Rajya Sabha, it should be scrutinized by the parliament committee. But because of this COVID-19, we were having very less sessions in the Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha, so that the government didn't form the parliament committee and they haven't scrutinized the bills. Almost 13 bills have not been scrutinized. The Government of National Capital Territory of Delhi Bill 2021. So these are all the bills. Please note down, these are the important bills which were not gone under the parliamentary committee examination. The Mines and Minerals Development and Regulation Amendment Bill 2021, the National Bank for Financing Infrastructure and Development Bill 2021, Insurance Bill 2021. These are the 4 bills, almost, for example, important bills. I just took the important bills which might have gone under the parliamentary committee examination, but these 4 bills never went. The role played by the parliamentary committee was undermined. Parliamentary committees are instrumental in suggesting constructive changes to the bill to make the code work better. Insolvency and bankruptcy code and motor vehicles code. The percentage of bills referred to the committee declined from 71% in the 15th Lok Sabha to 27% in the 16th Lok Sabha, just 11% current one. So we are seeing a very much declining in the scrutinization by the parliament committee and the recommendation accepted by which are advised by the parliamentary committee. Third, diminishing the role of Rajya Sabha by classifying ordinary bills as money bills. So money bills will be having some power. The president should give assent to the money bills. So they are including some important bills as money bills. So the bill which has been passed in the Lok Sabha as a money bill, likewise we can say tribunals, introduction of electoral bonds, these are the bills which has been passed as a money bill in the parliament, just passed in Rajya Sabha and just given with the assent of the president. Why it is? Because any bill which is passed as money bill in the Lok Sabha or in Lok Sabha, it should be passed in the Rajya Sabha and it should have given with the assent of president. Fourth, lack of debate, discussion over the demand of grants. For example, in the last budget session, the Lok Sabha had only listed the budget of just 5 ministers for detailed discussion and only 3 of these were discussed. The remaining 76% of the total budget was approved without any discussion. So we are having question hour, 0 hour in parliament. It should have used, and it would have used in a useful manner. That is why we are having that one specific hour, 1 hour session, that is question hour and 0 hour, in which they should have discussed this, or during the parliament hour they should have discussed this. So it has been also neglected. Lack of transparency in the Supreme Court in-house inquiry procedure. Recently, the Supreme Court dismissed the complaint from Andhra Pradesh Chief Minister Jagan Mohan against Justice N. V. Ramana on the basis of in-house inquiry. But the court declined to disclose the findings of the in-house inquiry. This has raised issues of transparency in the court's process. So for the Mr. Jagan, Chief Minister of Andhra Pradesh, has moved a petition, has moved an inquiry, in-house inquiry, because he is moving a petition regarding the judge. So this process will be taken into account in the court based on the in-house inquiry method process. According to the 2003 judgment of Supreme Court, in-house inquiry is meant only for the information and satisfaction of the CJI and not for the public. So it will not be affecting the constitutional rights of the public or the people, because there is an amendment in 2003 Act judgment by the Supreme Court. In-house inquiry is only for the information and satisfaction of the CJI, Chief Justice of India. So it is not for the public. So we have discussed it. So this thing is related to the scam related to the Amravati land. So Andhra Pradesh government is moving towards having its capital towards Amravati. So this thing led to discuss and related to the acquiring of land in the Amravati. So this case was filed against the High Court judge. So on the basis of he have attained some kind of lands in the Amravati, because it is going to be the state's capital. Why the confidentiality procedure needs to be changed? It leads to opaqueness and arbitrariness in the court's functioning. That's true, because there is no opacity. So it will be the knowledge will be only given to the CJI, not for the public. The evidence used to dismiss the complaint is unknown. So the complaint was dismissed. The evidence also unknown. Dismissal of the complaint means the serving CM has leveled false charges against the senior Supreme Court judge. This will invite contempt of the court if the committee found no merit in the allegations. So at least the complaint should get to know the fairness of the procedure. Recurring fire accidents in India. So last time in Maharashtra and Punjab, I think, either Punjab, Maharashtra or Punjab, we have seen a fire accident in the COVID-19 patients ward in the hospital. Recently, the fire accident in Mumbai hospital, that is Maharashtra, Dream Small, resulted in the death of 10 people so far. That is true. And effective fire safety protocols would have prevented the devastating effect of the lives and property. So this case was taken up by the Supreme Court in suo motu. Suo motu in the sense voluntarily they are taking the case into the court. So Supreme Court has taken this case as a suo motu one. It is used directions to task an officer with fire safety for each COVID-19 hospital. What needs to be done to reduce the COVID-19 fire accident? First, strict measures need to be taken to implement the National Disaster Management Guidelines. We are having this 2016 National Disaster Guidelines. So through this we are implementing so many infrastructures and so many rules and regulations to reduce the disasters. Second, need to periodical assessment of public buildings and safety protocols. So environmental clearance is given by the government to start a building, to construct a building. So while constructing a building, we will be giving the expiry date, likewise we can say the total worth days of this building. On the future day it can withstand. So this will be given in the environmental clearance. So it should be assessed in a periodical manner. The public building should be assessed in a periodical manner. Then only we can reduce this kind of incidents regarding buildings. And thirdly, states must create scientifically designed public health facilities that meet needs to populous cities. So in populous cities we are having much amount of population, people are more, so we should have increased our scientific facilities in the hospitals. So we are having 90 days from today for our 2021 prelims examination. Please be focused on the static portion as well as in the current affairs. With this we wind up today's session. I'll let you meet you on tomorrow's session. Thank you for watching. Thank you.